my life, the way that it is, my relationships the way that it is, maybe it's my fault. So whatever the question is, investing in yourself for me was the answer. And I couldn't recommend it enough. Look at this. That's so cool. Like it's just moving around. Welcome back to another cooking yarn. Today we finished the fast. That's long gone. Now I'm going to show you how to cook a fucking steak. But we're going to use one of these bad boys. Stainless steel pan. One of my mates got me one of these recently. I come out of the fast and I went into carnival. Part of doing that, I have been detoxing my life. So, first thing is a frying pan with no shit in it. One of these, you know what I'm saying? Like, you look at this. You can already see all the shit coming off. Like, you got the non-sticky stuff coming off. Like, to be fair, I love this pan. I really do. I like the size of it. That's why I got a stainless steel one, the same size. But that's where we're at. So I'm going to show you how to use one of these bad boys because I was a bit confused at the start. It spits like a motherfucker. I still haven't figured that out yet. I could probably Google it, to be fair. But I've been running the exhaust fan on. I get it super hot. And here's the thing. This is what I love about this, is because I can be a bit of a lazy cook. I like to make it simple. And this is fucking awesome because you just put it in. I'm going to preheat now so we can get it going. For example, I used to be one of those people who would be like, oh yeah, I'll just get some stuff for the freezer and then we'll put it in the oven, because then you can put it in the oven and then you keep sitting down and doing fuck all, and you know how it goes. But today we're doing the stainless steel pan. Amazing stuff. We've got the ghee ready to go. We have a fucking big steak from the butcher. Since I come off my fast, I've been getting butcher meat, and it is so tasty. It is so tasty. Wow. Oh, I don't even season it. I put a little bit of salt on there. The other day I put some garlic on something, but that was it. I just use salt sometimes. Other than that, it's beautiful. So I'm going to do that. We're going to do some eggs, some of these bad boys. I've been getting around tomatoes quite a bit. Apparently, if you have vitamin C, tomato, with red meat, it helps the absorption of zinc. It's also tasty as I don't know if you can tell, but I'm not a butcher. I'm also not a doctor. So they reckon that when it's ready, you just whack a little bit of water on there. Yeah, that's what didn't happen yesterday. Look at this. That's so cool. Like it's just moving around, and you just fucking flick the water out. How good's that? Righto. So it's on low. I'm gonna get a bit of ghee. Put you in there like that. I love cooking with ghee. It makes it taste so good. It's just better, man. Olive oil is good, but I just find that it was making me bit of this, bit of that. When I come off the fast, I had some olive oil. Obviously, I'm waking up my stomach acid. Let's not have heaps of olive oil. But that's what happened. Anyways, we're going to fucking put the steak in. Holy shit. There we go. It's in. This is on. I'm going to wash your old hands. And the phone's in the sink, because that's where the lighting is. So I'm just going to wash my hands in the bathroom. We are on. It's cooking. I'll tell you that right now for free. It is cooking. And so I'm just going to let it there. Yeah, so apparently it just peels off. Today I was going to talk to you about investing. Investing has been like the single greatest thing that I've done in myself. Now, everybody is investing. Everybody is investing all the time. It's just what you're choosing to invest in is the question. I started to invest in myself. Stephen Bartlett talks about these 5 buckets, and he specifically tells you to fill them in this order because this is what constitutes success. This is what he's saying. And it makes so much sense. So the first bucket, it goes knowledge, skills, network, resources, reputation. So what do you do with this information? Well, investing in your knowledge is one of the best places to start. This is why we go to school. This is why people go to unis, because you're investing in knowledge. Now, university didn't align for me and the exact path that I want to go down, and thinking about the sort of person that I am. I knew straight away that university was not going to be the best thing for me. I actually got a job. And there we go, look at this. It just unsticks, bro. It literally is unstuck. And we're on. That is a mean looking steak. I'm going to cook up some eggs. I already showed you. Investing into my knowledge. This is what was able to get me to where I am right now. Investing into your knowledge. So this is exactly what I did. I've invested into my knowledge, and I still continue to invest into my knowledge because it will never ever be done. As far as I'm concerned, any opportunity I have to be wrong or to correct it is an amazing thing because I'm on the pursuit of truth. What does that mean for me? It means that I'm not going to get personally attached to something if I say something or I learn something and then it turns out to be wrong or different or there's something more to it. Fucking unreal, bro. I'm not involved personally with this. I don't care. Like, I care about the truth. I don't care about my feelings in that sense. I'm not going to get offended over some bullshit. What is, for me, the most important thing is the truth. You find your own truth. I find my truth. Often these are going to interlink. But then sometimes what is true for you might not be true for me. And this can come down to a range of things. And you already know these things. People are different, but we're also the same. That's the most beautiful part about this whole experience that we're having, is that we are literally the same, but we're also completely different. And I fucking love that. I love that. And so I've invested into my knowledge. So how did I start doing that? The very first thing that I invested into was a course called the Driven Young Program. That was the first time that I'd ever spent a decent amount of money that wasn't clothes or drugs or fucking... I mean, I did travel a bit, but it was sort of linked into those things. I sort of traveled passively, mainly for festivals, which is great. Like, I had a fabulous time doing all of this, and I have no regrets whatsoever. But the reality of me at that point in time was that the most I'd invested in myself were in those things, and so I'd never invested in, like, knowledge. Like, intentionally investing in knowledge. We're always learning, but intentionally investing in knowledge. And so that's what I did. I'm doing that Gordon Ramsay thing I saw him do, where he fucking gets the stuff and he puts it on like this. Pretty gangster, eh? So I invested in this program called the Driven Young Program. Now, I'd seen this guy, Byron Dempsey, on TikTok, so I knew his face. And then when I looked at this program, I joined a webinar to get more information. Interpretation of it was that it's this networking thing. It's like a 3-month program for people to network, to make friends. But then the thing that really got me was that on the first night, you do a boat party in Sydney Harbour. And the last night, you have black tie form where everyone dresses up. Those two, you had me sold. Now, I was a little bit sus because I'd never invested into myself before. So there was a part of me that was like, oh, I don't know, it's a lot of money. It was like $1,000. So I was like, I don't know, it's a lot of money, blah, blah, blah. But I did it. And because of this, I was like, if I meet one person that changes my life forever, then what is that one person worth? That was literally it. As a result of that, I went to another program called Empower You. Empower You is like school on steroids. It's a weekend program, and it's an immersion event. So they teach you all of this stuff that doesn't directly get covered in schools. Things like about emotional intelligence, things about goal settings, things about why we are the way that we are, how we make decisions, how we change our state, understanding why we do what we do, understanding a little bit more about beliefs, understanding about the emotional intelligence, being able to dream bigger, how to change your perspective, how to reframe situations. Just all of these valuable things that help you to live in the world better, to exist in the world better, and to fucking thrive. How to master your emotions, how to crack the fuck on and get over excuses and bullshit and all of this stuff and just get it going. That was the vibe of this course. And then to be with other people who were learning all of this stuff all together was fucking priceless. I sat in that audience and very, very quickly I knew I was going to be up there doing that job. I'm fucking cooking a steak and I'm having a yarn, believe it or not. We're going to do 2 eggs. Alright, let's have a look at this steak. Fuck yeah, bruh. I love me steak well done. Fuck you. I don't give a fuck. Nah, respectfully and lovingly, fuck you. I love a fucking well done steak. I'll tell you that right now. Holy fuck, this looks so good, bro. Cuz! Look at this! It looks so good! Oh my days! Oh my days! Bang! Look at that! What's going on? One thing that this fast got me real like conscious of how the food makes you feel. Like obviously this is stuff we know, but then to experiment with it and see firsthand for me what makes me feel mad and what makes me feel shit. You are what you eat. You eat shit, then you will look and feel like shit. If you eat hectic, then you will look and feel hectic. I just smashed that steak. Oh my days, it was so good. And now I'm back to finish the conversation around investing. I invested in myself. I've said that so many times. Yeah, so Empower You, I went to that program. I knew it. You know how sometimes in life you don't know how you know something, but you just do? It's a feeling. I felt it. I saw him and I'm like, that's what I'm going to do. Through him, I met my next mentor. So I met my first mentor who introduced me to my next mentor, who introduced me to my next mentor. So I made all of these connections. I'm meeting these people, I got this new opportunity, I ended up working with Empower You, then went overseas and I traveled. So after meeting my breathwork mentor and learning from him, then I went overseas and I studied yoga. And all of this was just off meeting one person, of saying yes to one opportunity. And it was one of the best things I've ever done. You just don't know what is behind that door. One of the things that they spoke about at this program was the 1,000 doors, and you don't know who is behind the next door. You might open the first door, and then that opens 1,000 more doors. Like you just don't know. You don't know. And investing in yourself, investing in your own knowledge, looking for the answers, having enough humility to go, I don't know everything. Maybe there is some things that I'm doing that isn't the most effective thing. Maybe I'm not behaving in the best way possible. Maybe I'm not setting my life up for success. Maybe it's my fault. Maybe my life, the way that it is, my relationships, the way that it is, maybe it's my fault. Maybe my unfulfilling life, maybe my unfulfilling relationships, maybe it's my fault. And so whatever the question is, investing in yourself for me was the answer. And I couldn't recommend it enough. I could not recommend investing in yourself enough. Now, there's different categories of investing in yourself. You've got the small end of the scale. You've got investing your time. So you're watching this, you're investing your time. Fucking good on you. And you can invest your time in different stuff. So then what do you invest your time in? What free resources have you got? You got Spotify, you got YouTube. For me, bang, those were the two biggest things that helped me. Spotify, YouTube, audiobooks. Bang, bang, bang. After that, that's when I started to invest in workshops and courses and networking events and retreats and camps and so on and so forth. I've spent easily over $50,000. I reckon it'd be close to 100K over the years since I started this journey. You just keep going, you keep going, you keep learning, you keep learning. One of the biggest things for me was the integration, because I become a pro at learning and consuming information, but it was the integration part. It was taking what I learned and then actually implementing it and integrating it into my life. And that is why I loved breathwork so much, was because for me in my life, there was a big disconnect, because I could learn all of this stuff and it made so much sense. And I was like, yeah, okay, do this, do this, do this. Yep, yeah, okay, yep, bang. And then I would get into my life and I would be a beast, but then I would be inconsistent. And especially when it comes to my relationships, and especially my intimate relationship at the time, I would become triggered. Something would happen, and then I would become triggered, and then all of my fucking training went out the window, and I couldn't access none of it. And so this is why I loved breath work, is because what breath work helped me to do was to understand that there's a whole nother world out there. There's a whole nother world that we can't see. I said in American, that we can't see. Think about this. Wi-Fi. What is that? Bluetooth. What is that? How does it work? I don't fucking know. But it exists. My phone is connected to Wi-Fi right now. This microphone is connected to Bluetooth. So it works. We're the same thing. I believe we're the same thing. There's something out there that we are connected to, and our relationship with that is going to determine the life that we live. Now, we are a species who worship. So if we don't worship the universe, the divine, God, Allah, whatever is your flavor, then you will worship the mundane. And so for me in my own life, where does that show up? When I'm connected to God, for me, I'm not Christian, I'm not a Muslim, I'm not Jew, not even Buddhist or Hindu. I am a human being. If anything, if you want to put a label on it, maybe I'm not omnivore, omniist. I read that up. I see truth in all religions. My take on all of this is that we are fucking human beings. We're different, but we're also the same. Amazing. Now, what I've discovered is that there's something out there. There's something out there because it will send me messages in the form of a synchronicity. So what does that mean? Well, I associate different things with people who have passed. So for example, my pop passed away in 2012, I think. And I talk to him all the time. And my nan, she passed away recently, a few years ago. Not so recent, but I speak to both of them. And the same way that someone maybe would speak to God, I would do my own version of praying. Do I sit down and do this? Fucking absolutely. Sometimes, if it calls for it. Other times, I'll just have a yarn to them out loud, driving, walking, whatever. I try to make it very easy to stay in contact with them. And what I have found is that they are fucking here and they're with us and they're guiding us and it's happening. For me, I've seen enough evidence where it is unfucking deniable that we are not alone and that we are being guided. It is undeniable. And then so I tie that into this another belief that everything happens for a reason and we have a purpose in this world. So I tie those things in together and this is my extrapolation of it. I'm being looked after, I'm being guided, everything is perfect just the way that it is. Now, even if something in my life right now isn't desirable or I'm not a big fan of it, this too shall pass because everything happens for a reason. So there is something in this present moment that is going to give me either knowledge or information or something to help me go to the next phase of your life. We're always in constant motion. Things are always moving. We're always here in the present moment. Tomorrow never comes. Yesterday has already gone. So what does that mean? It's right now. It's right now. It's right now. I used to think, oh, let's do it tomorrow. Let's crack on tomorrow. I'll do it next week, whatever. That does not always work. Most of the time, it does not work. What works is doing it now. And so coming back to my whole story on investing in yourself now, and that could be anything. It could just be a book. Or like we said before, you can invest your time. You invest your time, you build your skills, you get better, then you have money to play with, then you invest money and it just fucking compounds, bro, it compounds. I've spent heaps of money on shit because it's worth it. It's worth it because to learn from somebody who's been there, done it, priceless. Then to connect with other people where some of them have either been there, done it, where most of them are just on the journey with you. That is priceless. I've met my best fucking friends through these programs. My best friends. And my soul friends, not the people that you grow up with and your mates just because you fucking know them or you went to the same school or you like to get on the piss together. Like your fucking soul friends. The ones that you can call when shit's going down. The ones who can hold space for you. The ones who just fucking get you. That's who I found through investing in myself. Because you invest in yourself and then you meet other people who have that same mindset. I believe nothing is an accident. Everything is supposed to happen. And if you get out of your own way, then you can allow your life to unfold from within inside. Because who you are is fucking perfect. It's honestly perfect. Now, you might think, oh, yes, I am perfect. And that's fucking banger. You are. You're not better than anybody. That's the catch. You're not better than anybody. You're also not worse than anybody. You are the same. In your own right, you are perfect. You are also imperfect. This is the duality of it. Your imperfection in itself, I believe, makes you perfect. If you don't like the way that you are right now, you don't like the way that you're responding to things, or you don't like how you feel, you don't like how you look, then this is a clue, my friend, to do something about it. Everybody has got some bullshit. Everybody has got some bullshit. Everybody has got some bullshit. We are the ones that get to decide what all of this means. We are the ones that decide whether this is a fucking hectic thing or if it's a shit thing. In my last video, I shared a fact that we are fat, and it is 1,000,000% true. I stand by this. Unfortunately, most of us are fat. Now, I say we because we are humans and we're all in this together. Is it your fault that you are fat? Yes and no. Yes and no. Of course, there is some fault in that. You have to take responsibility. You chose to put XYZ in your mouth and consume it. However, there is another factor that comes into it, such as your DNA makeup, and your insides will determine how you process calories. For example, you might think about someone who can just eat whatever the fuck they want and they never put on any weight. They could go to Macca's, they could get 3 large triple cheeseburger meals and they don't look like they've put on anything. Whereas other people are like, yeah, nah, I fucking walk past the bakery and I put on 3 kilos. So why is this? From my understanding, it's because of the way that your body processes and handles and holds energy. Now, as I said, we're all different. Fundamentally, they're the same, but we're all different. And so I encourage you to explore. What I did when I was really fat is I started to explore and started to understand. I knew that I was fat. There was no fucking, oh, you're not fat, you're big bones. Oh, you're like, fuck, man, come on. The reality is you're fat. If that is the reality, then that is the reality. For you to become not okay with it, in the sense that you're okay with being fat and you never want to change, that's not okay. But, well, it's up to you. Honestly, it's your life. You can do whatever the fuck you want. But for me, it was not an option. I didn't want to stay fat. But I also could acknowledge the fact that I was fat. Because if I was denying that I was fat, then why the fuck would I have a reason to change? Being fat is enough of a reason to change. Your body is already working harder than what it needs to. Having more fat than your body needs is not a positive thing. It's not a positive thing. Now, as I said, it's not necessarily your fault, but it becomes your responsibility to do something about it. And remember that it's not a short game. It's a long game. It's taken me years to repair my metabolism. I used to eat fuck all and put on weight. Now I eat like a fucking horse. I eat like a mad dog. Look, you just saw what I ate, cuz. Heaps of food, and I love it. My body fucking burns through it like a mad dog. But I'm also smarter because a few weeks ago, just before I did that fast, I had heaps of sugar and I put on a couple kilos. So it's the reality of these things. Now, right now, I'm super fascinated by what exactly helps people to lose weight, well, not necessarily lose weight, but what is it that keeps people fit? That example that I shared to you before, that people process food differently, and the way in which our body holds onto weight can vary, and so that's what I'm fascinated about. What does Jimmy, old mate who can eat fucking whatever he wants and not put on any weight, what does Jimmy have that Ricky puts on 3 kilos when he walks past the bakery that he doesn't? Or better yet, what does Ricky have that Jimmy doesn't? It's super fascinating to me. Now, I understand that beliefs are the foundation of everything. You just have to look at placebo in scientific studies. For me, that was enough. I was already learning about this stuff when I was investing in myself, learning about beliefs and values and how these things work and how they essentially control who we are and what we are and what's going on. Now, they can be changed, but we are mostly robots. From what I've observed, we're mostly robots. And we go back to our conditioning and we go back to what's comfortable, we go back to what's familiar. We'll do something because we did it yesterday, We'll do it again today because we did it yesterday. And then environmental as well. We've got cues like a motherfucker. So you have an environment, you set up some sort of routine in that environment, and then it goes on. I'll give you an example. Every time I'll go away for work and I'd be near a beach, I had primed myself. One day I was like, I don't have enough time to work out. I don't know where a gym is. I'm just going to go for a run. And then I went to the beach barefoot, went for a run, come back, did some yoga, swim, we're on. And then every single time I was staying somewhere near a beach, that's what I'll do. My brain's like, I have to go for a run. You prime your environment, you prime these things for success, and you learn this stuff through researching and investing in yourself. That's it. That's literally it. You invest in yourself first with time and energy, then with money when you have the means, and you will go forward. You will keep progressing forward so long as you believe that that's what you want to do, and you believe it's possible, and you want more, and all of this stuff. Some people don't give a fuck. Some people want to go to their job, work whatever the same hours every day, every week, go home, and that's that. That's amazing. That is amazing. If that's what lights you up, fuck yeah, bro. I love it. What lights me up is finding people and speaking with people who have found what lights them up. And what lights me up is helping people. I value learning and growth and my own evolution for sure. But I also value helping other people. Hence why I'm doing this. I'm making these YouTube videos and I'm giving all of this information away for free for two reasons. One, because this is how I learned. And this is when I think about how I can give back, this makes the most sense. And then secondly, I'm looking for people who are like me. I'm looking for people who want to learn, who want to grow. Because the stuff that we've got coming in the future is just fucking hectic. It's absolutely hectic. Some of the retreats that we've got cooking, the opportunities that we're going to have is just unbelievable. It's unbelievable. And this is an opportunity for me to give back, for me to give value, to me to build trust. But then also, I just love this, bro. I love having a yarn. Of course I love having a yarn. Give me a mic, fucking bang, hit record. Let's crack on. So investing in yourself, to wrap up, I couldn't recommend it enough. It's scary at the start, for sure, if you've never done something like that before. But anything that you've done, anything that you're doing for the first time, it could be scary. It's unfamiliar. So whether you want to label it scary or not is up to you. But it's unfamiliar, is the fact. Investing in myself, yeah, that was beast, bro. What else is important information? Being around other people who can help to challenge you, because something that I had to do was put myself in a bubble. I couldn't associate with, especially somewhere like where I am, I can't associate with the public too much because it just clouds my views and visions, and it just clouds my plans because everybody is on different levels. Everybody's on different levels. And for me to work on this business, it's better if I'm in a bubble and I'm cracking on and I'm getting stuff done and I go about my business and then I do my thing. And then I go to events. For example, I was on Kangaroo Island a couple of weeks ago at a men's meditation retreat, and it was fucking amazing, bro. It was amazing to be around 16 other men all meditating, doing yoga in a Buddhist temple in the middle of Kangaroo Island. You couldn't hear nothing. You couldn't hear cars. You couldn't hear fucking anything except for the nature. And it was beautiful. And what I found so useful in this experience is to be around men, first of all. And second of all, I'm around them in an environment where we've invested in ourselves, but then also in meditation. This is something that I am no expert at, but I'm not a fucking beginner. I have a few legs. And being around other men talking about life, talking about each other and learning from each other was priceless. Was priceless. And so being with men, learning from them, talking about myself, learning how to talk about myself. I used to struggle talking about myself. I used to not have a problem talking about myself. And then I started to wake up, I started to get quiet, and then I developed a mantra that was speak when spoken to, because I felt like people didn't value what I was saying and I wasn't being valued and respected. So I was like, okay, it's easier if I just fucking say nothing and not waste my energy. And if people are interested, they'll ask questions. And I lived that for some time. that was super useful because I was able to get better at listening, active listening, learning how to listen, learning how to hold space. For that, priceless. But then I had to relearn how to talk about myself because I've understood is that it's just the nature of how humans work. You have to be good at talking about yourself to some degree, or at least creating conversation. And that's what I'll do. I got super quiet. So then, since transitioning out of that mindset, now I've started to get better at talking about myself, but then creating that like an even conversation is what I think about. How do I share enough about myself where I'm sharing interesting things, I'm being authentic, I'm being honest, I'm not hogging the conversation, but then I create a nice back and forth, give them to lean off. Now, you might not give a fuck about what I'm saying, but I think about all of this stuff. And so I find it super useful to go to a thing like this where I can talk and I can practice talking about myself because I feel like this is a useful skill because how else will people know who you are and what you're doing if you don't have some ability to talk about yourself? It doesn't mean you're full of yourself, but it means that you are confident. You're confident enough in who you are and what you do that you can talk about what is going on. And that is important for me because of obviously what we do. That's that, bro. Invest in yourself. Just try it. Start with a book. I started with a book or podcast. I've put some podcasts that you may like. Otherwise, Joe Rogan is who I started with. I grew out of him after a couple of years because I just didn't love all of the shit talking. I found it really useful initially because I looked up to him as like a mentor slash like almost like a father figure. Um, and so I found it really useful. But as I grew, I realized that I cared less about him talking about life and just normal stuff and random shit. And that's when I transitioned more into specific podcasts, as in like from experts. Like, yes, he would talk to experts, but then there would be random stuff in there too. But yeah, audiobooks was a fabulous thing. That's where I started. Journaling, bang, love it. And this stuff just compounds because you're not doing this just for you. You just look at epigenetics, generational trauma. This is enough. I believe this should be enough for anyone to do anything in terms of bettering yourself and understanding yourself. What I'm about to share with you is enough of a reason for me, but I don't judge or blame anyone. Like, it's your life. You do whatever you want. As long as you're not hurting anybody and you're not fucking anyone over, like, you have pure intentions and you're trying to do good, like, amazing. I'll do another video, perhaps even now. Should I do it now? What else can I cook? Nothing.